Buongiorno a tutti, welcome back to my little kitchen here in Lecce in the south of Italy. Today it's sweltering hot, it's over 40 degrees centigrade, and I'm going to make something cold and refreshing for lunch. That's going to be a gazpacho, but I'm going to call mine Gazpacho Salentino because I'm using all of our local products. Of course you won't be able to get a couple of them where you live, but just use the best fresh ingredients that you can get and you'll be fine too. I'm going to use some bell pepper, some of the local tomatoes and the local cucumber, which is called the carosello. It's a little bit firmer in flesh and sweeter than a regular cucumber, but regular cucumber's fine. I'll add a bit of celery to give it a savoury note. I'm going to add some garlic and basil to make it nice and aromatic. And when it's done, I'm going to add some fresh ricotta, some of the local olives and a bit of anchovy, together with a bit of rucola, and that's going to be the ingredients for the gazpacho. To go with it, I'm going to have some of the local bread, which I'm sure that you've seen if you follow my videos, called a frisa, which is twice baked. This is rock hard bread which keeps for ages, and you eat it in the summer months. Normally you would moisten it with water and rehydrate it. I'm going to rehydrate it in this soup today. So that's going to be great for me. For you, if you can't get it, you can simply make some croutons and they'll be great too. The only other thing you're going to need is some good extra virgin olive oil, and then you're set to enjoy. So I hope you like the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, do leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel, and come back and follow me for more. Let's cook. For today's recipe you are going to need tomatoes, red bell pepper, cucumber, celery, rucola, fresh ricotta, olives, anchovy, dried oregano, basil, garlic, some kind of bread to make croutons. I'm going to be using the frisa salentina, some white wine vinegar, and some good extra virgin olive oil. For one good portion of gazpacho, I needed half of a bell pepper, from which I removed the seeds and the stalk. I cut it into relatively large pieces. The blender is going to do all of the work later. Then I used one of the small local cucumbers, half of a regular cucumber is fine, also cut into large cubes. And then on the spur of the moment, I decided to take one piece and cut it into a relatively fine dice, along with one piece of red bell pepper, and I'm going to use these as a garnish later. I'm going to use half of a stalk of celery and a few of the leaves, one clove of garlic, from which I removed the little stem in the center, and 3 nice ripe tomatoes, also cut relatively largely because these are going to be blended. Just remove the core from these as well. I only have a small hand blender, and so I had to do mine a few ingredients at a time. And these were, first of all, the red bell pepper and the cucumber. And as with most of the other ingredients, these consist mostly of water, so we're not going to add any more liquid at this point. We're going to blend these together until they break down into all of their juices. It's going to take a while, but suddenly it will happen. Like so. Now we can go in with the tomatoes. These are going to add a lot of juice, and you'll see a very swift change to the consistency. I'm also adding the celery stalk at this point, and we're going to blend these down and get all of the juice out of all of these ingredients. Of course, if you have a proper blender, you're going to have a better result, but an immersion blender like this will work just fine. The final ingredients I'm going to add are the aromatics. So that's the basil, the clove of garlic, a good pinch of coarse sea salt, a good splash of white wine vinegar, and then some of your best extra virgin olive oil. We're going to add plenty of freshly ground black pepper and then blend everything through. Give it a taste, check for seasoning, and if it's good to go, then it's good to go. But you can also chill this and have it really cold, which is also good when it's really hot. But I serve mine straight away. if you want to make it look a little bit prettier, find a suitable plate where you can pour out your gazpacho, spread it out nice and evenly, and then we can go to town with some decoration. We're now going to add that ricotta, just a little bit. If you want to get fancy, you can use 2 spoons like I did and set it out like so, which looks very nice. But of course, a little blob here and there is going to work just the same. Once the ricotta has been added, we're then going to go in and add those chopped pieces of cucumber and the red bell pepper. Next come the olives, of course. We're then going to add a little piece of anchovy to each blob of ricotta, and then we're going to go in and add either croutons if that's what you made, or I had the lovely crispy freezer. Going to add some rucola for a bit of color and freshness. A good sprinkle of dried oregano, and then the finishing touch, a nice drizzle of our best extra virgin olive oil. And that's my gazpacho with every flavor of the Salento, all in one plate. Buon appetito. Enjoy.